Good day, everybody. This is News Insights on Landslide News, and I am Victory Ama, your host for this edition. And with me, I have fellow discussants. I have Engineer Kingsley Okafor.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. And I have Barrister Philip with me. Thank you for
Good day, everyone.
Today we'll be discussing about the prophetess that has been detained for delivering a mother and a child in her church, and they both died. So we'll be hearing the opinions of Engineer Kingsley and Barrister Philip, and would like to know what they think about this. So Folashade Okoye, I can't really place her, but her name is Prophetess Folashade. She was detained by the police, by the Ondo State Police Department, because of what she did. So apparently she's a prophetess, and she brought mother and child to give birth in her church. And according to them, the place that she helped the mother and child was not suitable for delivery. And the mother bled as at the point where they found the mother, she was still alive. She was half alive, but the child was dead already. And the brother reported this to the police station, and they had to detain her for endangering mother and child. The husband of the woman, that's Jimoke Adesua, that's the victim, he had to take her to the hospital. When he found out that she was bleeding out, he took her to the first hospital. She was rejected because she was in critical condition. The second one, the third one, it was just the fourth one that agreed to treat her, and she died while in the fourth hospital. So what do you think on this? Because it happens to be a rampant situation in Nigeria.
Essentially, this incident should go beyond Adesua because it's coextensive to the entire society. People should know the functions of each unit of the society. Okay, there's nobody stopping anybody in Nigeria from running any kind of church. But when it comes to health issues, it should be handled by health professionals. Yes, we are not trying to deny that there are no herbal things and things like that, but I think all are still regulated by NAFDAC. You understand? So health issues should be handled by health professionals, while spiritual issues handled by spiritual. We say spiritual professionals. I don't know what it might is. Maybe there is anything like that. Okay, but even at that, so that because now, apart from endangering the life of mother and child, you have at the same time turned a man to a widower, who eventually have to mourn this all his entire life. Do you understand?
Yes,
so what precedence is the prophetess passing to those in the church? Because if this didn't come to light, eventually this will happen again. It would have repeated itself again. So, like I said, it's about repeating this thing and allowing it the lesson in this particular case. I just hope the police are on top of the matter so that the society will learn from this. Church should handle church matters, while health centers should handle health issues.
Yes.
That's all.
Thank you very much. Barrister Philip, there was a part where they said the husband had to rush her to 4 different hospitals. And I'm just thinking, why did he come at this later stage? Because why didn't he know from the beginning that his wife was to go to the hospital to give birth? So can you throw more light on that particular part of the story?
Very interesting. You see, this is the situation we find ourselves in this country. Like my colleague just said, or my fellow, Alani said, that issues should be handled by professionals that are specialized in that area. He makes a very serious statement that whether we should refer to pastors as professional spiritualists is very serious. You might take it very lightly, but it's very serious in this country. Let me tell you something. This is a country where everybody doesn't want to follow procedures and rules. This is a country where the church has taken over virtually everything. They assume the role of everybody. You took upon yourself the role of a maternity, a medical doctor, a pharmacist, and a nurse, and at the same time a prophetess, What has prophetess had to do with delivering of a baby? These are the issue. You said your question is, why does it take this long for the husband of the deceased to take steps in going to hospital?
Yes,
It might interest you to know, from what I read, the man gave money to his wife, his lovely wife, to go to the government hospital for antenatal. But instead, because we are living in a society where everybody depends on church for miracles, instead of the woman to go to the hospital, he went to the church for, they called the name of the church, I think, delivery ministry. I don't know what that means. And she had been delivered to the grave. So I don't think it's the fault of the man. As at the time the man became aware that the wife is in danger, she acted.
That's true.
The woman is an adult, so she should have been able to do the needful.
Okay, so Engineer Kingsley, do you think with this story that has come to light, do you think that most Nigerian churches are causing more harm than good?
That is a very general question, but let me just pick it from what he has said. The churches has taken more functions than they should and less function than they should. Okay? I don't know if you get that.
I for the sake of, I do not get it.
Okay, now, you actually asked him how come probably the husband didn't get to come in on time.
Yes, sir.
It will shock you that most women, whether pregnant or not, will listen to the pastor first and more than their husbands. If their pastor gives them instruction,
not only their husband, even their professional, their medical, their doctors, their lawyers, anything.
They listen to pastors. Yes, they listen to pastors more than their doctors. They listen to pastors more than their husband. They listen to pastors more than any professionals, like you have said. So, in that regard, you notice that they have taken more functions than they should and also causing more damage than they should.
Yes.
Now, less functions? Yes, probably not part of the topic for today. Churches are a place where you see a social center, social welfare center, where the money is contributed, material things that people bring are where the poor and the less privileged in the society and the underserved in the society go for respite. But it has not become so in the recent times. These private churches, if you must describe them like that, that the churches that do not have governing council,
yes,
churches where the GO is the overriding power on anything, on any decision. The churches are more of contributory center to enrich the pastors who do not do these functions for the reason that those contributions were even instructed in the Bible. Because they bring the meat to my house just so that everybody can have what to eat. You understand? On that ground, you notice that they are causing more damage. But you can't generalize and say, and classify that churches, that would be unfair to classify that churches. Because the education you found today that has gone into the stream of the society, most of them were pioneered by churches. Do you understand? Most of the advancement in science today and technology today were pioneered by churches. So you can't generally classify and say the churches have done more evil.
Yes,
okay, that's just what it is.
Okay, thank you so much for making us know that. Barrister Philip, as they've detained this woman, based on your background, your law background, what do you think she would be? What do you think that they'll be holding against her?
Very simple. She'll be charged for murder because she aided and abetted the death of the woman. She wasn't a medical doctor. She wasn't a nurse. Her place is not a hospital, but she took it upon herself. So if you have taken a position, you should be able to take responsibility. She had no defense.
And it doesn't help that
the highest you may get, she might be convicted for manslaughter. But for me, she should be charged for murder. Period. So she should serve as deterrent to others. That when a case comes to them, it's not their case, they should be able to direct such people to the appropriate
quarters,
professionals.
That's true. So, Kingsley, do you, if you were in the husband's shoes, what would you have done?
Well, like we don't have all the details, taking decisions without having all the details is very, very difficult. But that said, it is possible the husband was never aware of this until the time he was called upon. Like I said, most husbands are never aware of what is happening to their wife, except what the pastors ask them to tell their husband, unfortunately. Okay, so, but that said, I wouldn't be in his shoe, but if for any reason I find myself, I will ensure the woman is prosecuted for murder. There's not going to be any, how do I call it, justice anymore. There's really no justice for the dead, but there can be accountability.
Yes.
You understand? So I will ensure the woman is prosecuted. Of course, she'll be given fair hearing because nobody knows what actually transpired between the dead and the living, except the record that the living brings to us. So if from the woman's testimony and from the investigations the officers involved will carry out, that the woman can be charged for murder, like Barrister has said, she should just be charged for murder. Manslaughter, yeah. But you can't really claim you do not intend to murder somebody when you are doing what you should not do, knowing that issues of life and death is involved. I mean, even a layman knows that delivery is probably the most sensitive thing.
Of course.
Yeah, most sensitive thing to talk about woman health.
So, woman safety.
She should be prosecuted for murder. That's what I would do as the man. But how he will handle depends. I mean, it varies from person to person.
That's true.
Yes.
So, do you hold the same stance with him?
Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you very much for being on this edition of News Insight. This discussion has really opened my eyes to so many things, and I wasn't even aware that the man had no idea what was going on. So, and I also believe that it will open the eyes of our viewers to these things, so that we can look into it and know what is going on in our society and how to discourage these things from reoccurring. Thank you very much, everybody. This is News Insights on Landslide News. I hope you keep watching, and I am your host, Victory Ama. Goodbye and see you soon.